This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
North Michigan Avenue in Fremont, Michigan, 49412.
Okay, what's going on tonight?
Yes, everyone is okay, but I need the Fremont Police Department, and I believe he is Captain Geating, John Geating. I need some police protection immediately.
Okay, for what?
It is of vital national interest. It is related to September 11th, and people want to erase me from the face of the earth. I am not crazy. Mr. Geating knows me. I'm a Christian. I just need some help, and then the U.S. government will take it from here. I know this sounds crazy. You don't have instructions for this. Please send someone that knows Geating and can talk to the U.S. authorities, please.
Okay. And do you have any weapons there?
No weapons at all, not even a BB gun.
All right. How do we spell your last name?
Sure. It's Cirigliano.
And your phone number?
We have no landline.
Okay. All right. We'll get him over there for you at 823 North Michigan in Fremont, okay?
Okay. Can they come with their lights off and not to frighten my children, please?
Yep, definitely.
Okay. I'll look for them, knock on the door, and please try to send Mr. Geating, even if he has to be awoke from his sleep. It's that important, please.
Nope, he's on right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
I guess just tell me a little bit about when your department first became aware that this family was missing.
Well, let's kind of backtrack to even 24 hours prior to that. Around midnight on Sunday morning on October 16th, two of my officers went to the Cirigliano house and had contact with Tony or Anthony Cirigliano. Tony was talking about issues or information that he had regarding the September 11th attacks. But really what my officers were spending a great deal of time doing is talking to him and making sure everybody was safe and trying to make sure that mental illness wasn't putting anybody in jeopardy, because honestly that's a very abnormal thing to say and make a police report of. My officers spent about an hour, 45 minutes-ish with Tony. They had contact with Suzette as well, and they talked really for quite a while, just making sure that everybody was safe and everybody was fine, and then offered both of them, if they were concerned about anything, to reach out and give us a call, because we'll be here to help them out. When we go to the evening of October 17th around 9 o'clock, another one of my officers was dispatched to a report of a elderly woman who lives with Tony and Suzette. And she suffers from dementia, and she was walking around the neighborhood, and some of the neighbors were concerned. So my officers, through the course of that contact, were able to talk to different family members after noticing Tony and Suzette and the boys were not at home and therefore unable to provide care for the elderly grandmother. And through the course of investigation, we've been be on the lookouts for, in the area, social media pushes, and really an investigation to give us some idea where Tony and Suzette and the boys are. we don't see any signs of violence. We don't see any signs of foul play right now. There's no signs of struggle inside the home. But it's just everyone we've talked to, whether they be a lifelong friend to Suzette or family members, they all describe this to be extremely abnormal behavior from Tony and Suzette. So my office is doing everything we can. This is part of that effort to really reach out to as many media outlets as we can to get the word out that, hey, Tony, Suzette, please let us know that you're okay, and call family, let them know that you're okay.
And that first contact with officers the night before they disappeared, you said there was some paranoia talking about 9/11. Was it also talking like the FBI and the CIA, or? Correct.
Tony was asking for the FBI to arrive and CIA to arrive, and wanted the fire trucks to be in his house and things of that nature. And it was really
in his house? Or?
Yeah, at his house, excuse me. It was really just, it's not normal behavior or normal interactions we have with the community. And that's what's leading me to say, Tony was exhibiting some signs of paranoia.
Some viewers have been wondering, why an Amber Alert wasn't issued. Can you talk to me a little bit about that?
Well, we have all indications right now that, these boys' care providers, both mom and dad, are with them. We don't have any signs of violence or struggle or that they've been taken by anyone else. So Amber Alerts really have a criteria here in Michigan that's based in law and procedure, and it doesn't fit that criteria.
Did Tony himself call 911 to get police to respond?
On October 16th, he did.
At this point, any indication, that they're close by, that they're out of state, any knowledge at that point?
We have no indication where they could be. We continue our investigations. We're using every available resource we can, but we don't have any indication if they're still in West Michigan or in Michigan or Midwest or anything like that. And that's why we're trying to reach out to as many people as we possibly can.
Have you tried to extract your cell phone?
Yes, that's been part of the investigation.
And there's no signs of like ATM use or credit card use or anything?
There's been none.
Have you had previous contact with this family in your department?
We've had one contact last summer. It was one of the boys who had been downtown, and one of the shopkeepers were concerned, but the officers, it was not a confrontational type or an enforcement issue. Everyone was very amicable and polite and courteous, and that type of contact with somebody is much appreciated. So we don't have any type of prior call history that's anywhere close to what we're dealing with right now.
What's the status of the mother-in-law? How is she doing? Is she being cared for? Who's caring for her?
Different family members are taking care of her, but she seems to be well cared for right now.
What, and it's this van that you believe. Tell me a little bit about what you think are they still driving this? I mean, was that the last thing they were seen in?
So we know that they own a 2005 Toyota Sienna, which is a minivan. It's silver in color. And that is not in the garage. So talking through different people in our investigation, this is the common vehicle they use.
How unusual does this seem, when you were talking to the family members? Has this father ever run off before or anything like that?
No, everybody is shocked. And I would say that's the best way to describe it. When you talk about and look as part of an investigation, what, is there a prior history of this? Is there any indication that this was going to happen? And we don't have any information like that.
Okay. What are officers doing right now, or kind of what stage of the investigation, what's happening now to try to find the family?
So while we work on financial records with different financial institutions, we're conducting search warrants. We're working with the state police and trying to get assistance with cell phone use. We are doing a variety of different things. The biggest thing right now is trying to get a hold of anybody that has information that would help us locate this family. And we are doing interviews just regularly on that issue.
Do you know how long they've lived in Fremont?
Approximately 4 years. And prior to that, they lived in South Carolina in Jasper County area.
Okay. We've heard North Carolina. Are you sure it's south?
I am.
Okay. And have you talked to any police down there? Any prior cases that might have relevance to this?
We're still working on that.
You know, are you hopeful at this point that they can be found safe and alive?
I am.
What do you want people to do if they might have seen this van?
If you've seen this van or have any information about where the Cirigliano family could be, please contact my department. And if you don't want to leave your name, we also have Silent Observer here in Owego County that you can reach out to as well.
Okay.
I don't know if you're able to tell at the house, but could you tell if they took anything with them, like clothes or food or anything?
It's hard to say because we don't have someone that can really give us before or after. But I don't see closets missing, you know, all the clothing or anything like that. If that helped answer that question. Okay.
Anything else? Anything else you want us to know?
No, we should be all set.
Ready for you, Chief?
Okay.
Can we have you say and spell your first and last name for us?
My name is Tim Rodwell, Tim, and then Rodwell.
Chief of Police.
I am.
Freeport?
No, Fremont.
Fremont, not Freeport.
Yeah, not Freeport, no.
Can you tell me, do you have any updates on the on our family?
So the campaign that we've had working with the media and trying to get the message out about Tony, Suzette, and the boys has seemed to work. We had contact early this morning from a BP gas station manager who believed she had seen the family on Monday the 17th of October between 10:40 and 10:55. Since then, we've been able to obtain surveillance video and corroborated her belief, and we do and we know at this point that Tony, Suzette, and the boys were in the gas station on Monday, October 17th.
In Gulliver, Michigan.
Gulliver, Gulliver.
Is that in the Upper Peninsula?
It is. It's a small village along US 2 on the southern side of Michigan's Upper Peninsula.
Have you personally seen this video?
I have.
Did they look distressed? Do they look okay, happy, sad?
During the video, it looks like one of the boys attempted to use the gas station's telephone, but as far as distressed or any other issues, it's really ambiguous to that.
Did they buy gas? Did they get snacks, water? Did they buy a bunch of water, a bunch of food?
It looks like they filled or put gas into their minivan, so we do know that they were at that time were driving the 2005 Toyota Sienna minivan. They had made some other small purchases as well.
Is that minivan registered to them?
It is.
Okay, because we heard yesterday from neighbors that it wasn't a vehicle they usually drove.
They had 3 vehicles inside the home, and the two others have been accounted for.
Okay. Do you know? They wanted me to ask. Sorry. Did Anthony have a record in North Carolina? Do you know of any of that?
I have no knowledge of that.
Okay. Do you know what direction they were headed when they were in the Upper Peninsula?
They were headed eastbound. So US 2 in that area sort of follows that southern border. So when we say eastbound, they may have been going on a northeast direction, but it was eastbound on US 2.
Got it. No indication of where they might be going yet?
None.
Is there any indicator in terms of the direction that they would be going, like what the next potential places they would pass through?
So in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, this section of US 2 is between Manistee and what we'll call St. Ignace. It's a really rural area. I mean, there's a lot of the national forest, and I would describe it as a very rural area of Michigan.
Okay. Because we have some viewers up there and stuff, so obviously the idea is if we can expect that they're coming to some next spots or something, we can begin to look at that. Has the investigation yielded any reasoning why they would go to the UP? Are they frequenters of the UP, or is this something that's just seemingly kind of out of the ordinary? I mean, just kind of what has been the idea behind them going forward?
The investigation really tends us to believe that both Tony and Susie just really spent their time taking care of their boys and taking care of the elderly grandmother. We don't know of them taking a lot of, trips other than maybe a day trip to, somewhere near Fremont. But we don't have evidence of camping. We don't have evidence of trips overnight in a hotel or any pattern of behavior like that.
So this feels spontaneous.
It does.
To go such a considerable distance and everything like that. So.
Yes, it does.
And the idea of them going eastbound or kind of northeast and everything, that takes them deeper into the peninsula, right? That doesn't let them kind of, come back down or, just getting that directional map, I guess.
You'd have to look on the map to really get it, but it brings you closer to the Mackinac Bridge, which we all know is the only entrance to Michigan's lower peninsula from the upper peninsula. So it would lead me to believe they were headed that way.
I'm so sorry about that. I have news for you after this, but your press release, I guess, is corrupted.
Oh, is it? That's not great.
They asked us if you could resend it.
Okay, I can do that.
Yes. No, sorry about that. Just kind of talking with us and getting that out there. Obviously, it has been beneficial, right?
It's been great. One of the reasons I think we all live in Western Michigan is just that sense of community and that sense of helping each other out. And I think the Cirigliano family needs help right now. And the working with all of your resources and your counterparts has really been beneficial to try and paint a better picture of what's going on here and to get a message out.
Is there anybody else see anything or any other tips you may have received?
We received, I would say, approximately a dozen more tips, but we just cannot corroborate anything else. And some of the tips would involve what I would describe as ambiguous information.
So this was one of your first good, solid corroborated tips? Correct.
It was one of the ones where I could reach back and say I have video and I've looked at the video myself and can verify it. Some of the other tips have included, a possible gray SUV or a gray van in this, in this state or that state, and it's pretty ambiguous information.
Because how many silver minivans are there?
Right. When you start looking, you'll notice, they're everywhere.
Anything else we should have touched on?
I was just going to ask you for the last thing, just in terms of now, this has been, such a fast-moving investigation, especially with kind of the media getting involved and everything like that. What is kind of your continued call to action as, we reach kind of the height of it and then, as, things start to develop? What is just kind of your call to action to the community to, stay invested, stay involved, keep, looking for these people? I just kind of wanted to hear from your side.
My view is we're asking the community just to help this family. And there's the Cirigliano family, from everything I can tell, is a very close family, and they're deeply concerned. And they have members of that family who live all around the country that are coming to Fremont because they are deeply concerned about everyone's well-being. I would ask that everybody in the community just continue the effort of letting us know when they see them and if they've heard from them. And lastly, if Tony and Susie can hear this, that they feel comfortable calling us and letting us know that they're okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.